Hello everybody, this is Melissa from Sovereign Planet. I wanted to share a little reflection today as I just came back from the doctor's office, for to get a prescription, and we obviously came to talk about the the medication, because since I have asthma, I am supposedly in those risk cases, risk classes, whatever, and so he recommended that I get it. But he was very nice about it, and we were able to have a conversation about it. And that's besides the point. It's just that it triggered a reflection in me, that in this day and age, we live in a world that is so heavily distorted and infiltrated by what we call the controllers, the 1%, the self-proclaimed elite, whatever. It's infiltrated every single pole of our society and in our planet, which we call the matrix, And when having this conversation with this doctor, I think he was about my age, 35, 36, something like that, and he was replacing my usual GP, which is a little older, but it made me realize that when you are whatever job profession you choose to go for in life, in this case he chose to be a doctor. It was in order to help people and heal people and whatnot. And it's not, you would think it's not his job, to be a journalist, or investigator in the sense of, I'm looking for words, like a detective type of thing, sorry, I can't find the right words, that he shouldn't be so suspicious, about our governing entities and such, and so, it helped me bring a bit of compassion, which it's not that I didn't know that, it was just a bit of a, sorry, cut there. It was just a bit of a realization I had, and it's in understanding that it's so hard for people to understand the depth of the manipulation, because they are kind-hearted people, This is something a lot of truthers, I think, miss, when they're being so aggressive and calling people sheeps and asleep and things like that, It's very uncompassionate, The reason why people are so naive in a way, is because of their kind hearts, because of their loving nature. And so it's important to remember that when you're having conversation with people in front of you who disagree on the what, especially, but not only, but it's just because it's such a polarizing topic at the moment, And of course, I understand there's a lot of mind control and a lot of propaganda on both sides even, And it makes it hard sometimes to have these conversations. But when you have the opportunity, like I had today with this doctor, it's important to really take a step back and cultivate compassion for our fellow brothers and sisters, We are all under the same spell, under the same manipulations and distortion that go as far as modifying our DNA, It's very complex, and it's something that goes really deep, and all of this is going to be disclosed over the next few years. I have no doubt about that. I wouldn't even say decades, I think it's going to be faster than this, but it's a lot. And those of us who are already in this process, of uncovering and, shedding those layers of deceit and distortion within ourselves, because it's at an individual level as well, that we are manipulated and distorted, and we have to clear that in us so that we are then able to experience and see and see reality for what it truly is. But this takes a while. I'm sure any one of you now listening will agree that it's a lot of work and a difficult work. So I guess my message here is really a message of compassion and understanding. Of course, we have to cultivate masterful boundaries, that's for sure. There is definitely mind control, like I said, and there will be sneaky attacks and on your persona, character assassination campaigns and things like that. We should not accept those. Of course, we should defend ourselves in those cases. But when there is no aggression, if it's just a matter of disagreeing, then push the conversation, engage in the conversation. Don't be and I'm saying this because I used to be, and I think it's a normal, maybe it's a normal step, or maybe it's a common step, maybe not normal, but a common phase which we go through, where we are very guarded because you've realized all this distortion. Suddenly you're super closed and you're like, there's a bit of a wall here of a protection. We need to disarmor, if that's the word, this protection, really open our heart and be able to have that conversation, with people. And I'm not saying that I convinced this doctor that the medication is not good. That's not the point at all. He remained very much in his ideas and I remained in mine, but we were able to have a conversation, talk about it without getting offended or getting aggressive or becoming arrogant over the other. And I feel this is seriously lacking. And I understand why, because it's so complicated. And because, of course, of all the mind control, the propaganda, and let's not even talk about all the, how you call them, frequency weapons, that also interfere with our mind. Sorry, calling the dogs. But, yeah, I lost what I was saying there, clearly. So yeah, remaining really compassionate, trying to have the conversation when we are able to, and not be so aggressive, condescending or judgmental. Of course, I am very fierce myself when I talk about the invaders, the controllers. Like I am very much, warrior mode activated on that front, when I talk about these things, and I feel it's necessary. At least some of us need to. But when we're talking about other human beings that are having a similar experience as us, except that they are at earlier stages maybe, or maybe they have not yet begun the awakening, or maybe they're not willing to either, but they don't have necessarily bad intentions towards humanity, and in this case, it's important to cultivate compassion. I hope this made some sense. And yeah, I'm feeling very vulnerable and emotional these days because of everything that's going on. I think there's a lot that's being brought back to the surface, and when I see how difficult it can be for someone like me or you guys watching, I know I have conversation in private messages with some of you, and how it's hard, to go through all that which we're going through, even though we have tons of tools and references and resources. Imagine how it is for those who don't, who all they have is the mainstream narrative. They are scared, they're afraid, and we should remember that. And we're not saving anyone. It's not up to us, to nurture them or protect them even. But that doesn't mean we can't be compassionate towards them. If everybody is on their own journey, everybody has to learn their own lessons and grow from them on their own. But that doesn't mean we can't be compassionate with each other and have some tolerance and keep an open heart, really. Yeah, these are difficult times, I know, and I'm hoping that what I share in general is helpful in bringing you support. And myself, really, I'm talking to myself most of the time as I'm talking to you as well. So, yeah, sending you all my love, and I will talk to you again soon. Thank you for listening. Bye.